One of Putin's guards who denounced the war and fled Russia says he's being pursued even in South America.
Here's a summary of the article.
A former member of President Vladimir Putin's Federal Protective Service said that he has been pursued since he fled Russia and denounced the invasion of Ukraine. Vitaly Brizati told Insider that he fled to Ecuador after months of trying to leave his job guarding one of the palaces used by Putin, an attempt that he says saw him interrogated and threatened with prison. Brizati spoke to Insider via a translator about how he came to reject Russian propaganda and support Ukraine, even while he worked to protect Putin's life. According to documents seen by Insider, Brizati became a FSO dog handler in September 2021, part of the estimated 50,000-strong Federal Protection Service that protects Putin and high-level Russian officials. Even as he managed sniffer dogs and scoped out the public spaces Putin would visit, Brizati had quietly been nurturing dissident views. The moment he truly turned against Russian authorities was February 24, 2022, when Putin launched his full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Russian people have been turned into zombies by Putin's propaganda, he said, adding he sees no future for Russian children.
This post received a score of 9,900, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Dude is definitely in Canada or something, saying is in South America.
I was going to say the same. Sounds like something someone hiding in North America would say.
Russia is not a country, it's a mob-run gas station.
It's a social experiment. What if you gave a mob-run gas station nukes and a permanent seat at the Security Council?
The social experiment is actually, what if you had a fake democracy built on post-Soviet anarcho-capitalism? A lot of very rich people are invested in its success, even as its failure is so bleeding obvious to everyone else. It's insanity.
I'd go further. It is an example of how to run a large population of people in a modern world with all that entails, while using your power and influence to rob the people of their collective riches, aka the nation's resources, for their own personal bankrolls. All the while explaining the absence of these resources to your people as being because a foreign adversary is denying them their rightful place on the world stage, so these resources are being used to strike back at that foreign adversary that is collectively holding down all Russians.
So like what the American right has been test driving over the last couple election cycles? Only with boogeymen foreign and domestic.
I mean more than the last few cycles. It's basically a verbatim description of the military-industrial complex Eisenhower warned about.
I think the safest country for those like him is Ukraine.
The closer he is to danger, the further he is from harm?
It's more like where you wanna be, on a place where you're the only target or in one where you're one of the many.
Ah yes, the herring strategy.
Plus stands out way less amongst Eastern Europeans than he would with Hispanics.
Stupid place to go. Especially Russian people can travel to those parts of the world.
They are a Russian person? So their options may be limited. It's not that there aren't good people in Russia, it's just that you get killed if you protest. If you flee, you get tracked down. The Russians are victims in this as well. Generationally trapped, it's not always easy to move. Living your life never able to be fully at peace, hoping the bad stuff doesn't happen to you. The government puts out its PR propaganda, but the Russians see through it. You can't lie to people that see bad stuff happening with their own eyes. They know the government isn't good.
Greater than the government puts out its propaganda, but the Russians see through it. You can't lie to people that see bad stuff happening with their own eyes. They know the government isn't good. The Russians are bombarded with propaganda every day like we're suffering from ads. Even when you don't believe that shit, it affects you, sadly enough.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.